Hey guys, it's Todd from Like-Minded Lunatics bringing you another drink, play, swear. It's all we do around here. It's all Frank the Bunny instructed us to do around here. Thanks for being with us here at Like-Minded Lunatics, and thanks for being with us here at Drink, Play, Swear. Now that I'm thinking about it right this second because I see that button right in the bottom right-hand corner, that subscribe button. Hit that thing, bang! Hit that subscribe, bang! Be part of this like-minded lunatic family, this band of weirdos, degenerates, and runaways that works real hard to bring you fun stuff. It's not just Drink, Play, Swear on the channel. You also got my buddy and writing partner's great stuff, Friday Night Videos. You can find it right there. But he also does the Monday matchups. He just did a great Monday matchup with Queen, comparing a studio version and a live version of a track. Great stuff. We also got all kinds of other stuff. Hit that playlist and look through some of the stuff to see if you're going to like it. I know you're going to find something you like besides these Drink, Play, Swears, so go check that out. Glad you're with us. So what is Drink, Play? Don't forget there's that subscribe button. It's right there. You're going, nah, I'm just a casual... I'm just a casual viewer. Hey man, privacy protection doesn't let us see who you are. So if you want to like us, like kind of on the down low, it's okay. We'll never find out. It's all right. We do know what country you're in. Bang, right there. What are we doing here at Drink, Play, Swear? Well, we do just that. We play a game, usually a classic one. I pair it with a beverage, and I tell you a story. So it's a good time. I've done like 35 of these, and no, I'm not running out of stories. And I'm also not running out of the desire for a crisp beverage. So what are we playing today? Well, this is a good one. It's a Capcom beat-em-up. I'm a sucker for Capcom beat-em-ups. Playing this on the Switch today, but it's a perfect arcade port of Knights of the Round. That's right. Growing up, don't you love Knights of the Round Table stuff? Oh, they're going to pick for me. They're going to pick for me. I'm going to be Arthur. I mean, I feel like Percival is like the ironic choice, like people who pretend they actually like PBR, and then Lancelot looks kind of like a fool. So we're not gonna do that. But hang on, right? I got to show you. Can I pause this thing? Okay, I can go back to the start menu, but I wanted to show you the beverage. I didn't get to the beverage, and I'm actually picking a different beverage today. So I thought it'd be fun to do something different. This is Karbach, great brewery with a bunch of great beers here in Texas, not in San Antonio. They're out of Houston, Love Street. It's a blonde. Let's see how it sounds opening up. I'm going to give that an A-. But in terms of crisp refreshment and taste, it's an A+, so let's do it. Let's play a game and have a beverage. Knights of the Round. Love these fun arcade beat-em-ups. I don't think this was ever on a console. I didn't research it because that's not really what I do. But it's a great game, and I'm glad that they have put some of these, lesser-known arcade games into circulation again. Everybody knows Final Fight and Streets of Rage and that, and they're great. They're absolutely great, but there are moments in these others that at times kind of surpass them. I was playing, what was I playing? The King of Dragons? I always get that wrong. You can check that one out right there. That was a really good one, and there was some great boss battles in that one with that Hydra and stuff, three-headed dragons. Fun stuff that you don't get in just your urban fighters. So, all right, story time today. What are we talking about? Well, today's another food one. I want to talk food with you. I've talked food with you before on the channel. Of course, first challenge, Scorn. Love that name. You gotta love a good villain name. I can't remember. Do you have like a special move in this, or is it just jump and hack? You know how? I think it's just straight up fighting. It'd have been cool. I mean, unless I just don't know what I'm doing, and that's totally possible. But anyway, talking food today. You remember that time I talked about New Year's Eve in New York with the good Indian food? We did the Indian food in that one. That was great. King Arthur's down because he's talking about Indian food. He's not focusing. The Brits, they love good Indian food. All right. So today, talking a different food today. I'm talking Chinese food today. I'm talking Chinese food because I got to thinking about my favorite Chinese restaurant that no longer exists. And boy, don't you get nostalgic for places as soon as they're gone. Stage one, Arthur has defeated scorn. You know, you have to frown to say it right. Scorn. And I mean, I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but I think I said it the way someone should have said it if there was a narrator for this game. My favorite Chinese restaurant growing up and even into adulthood was a place called Shu Yu in San Antonio, sort of on the outskirts, Alamo Heights, Broadway and 410 area where I grew up. It was my first Chinese food restaurant. My parents took me there as a little kid. And I was a picky little kid, you know what I mean? I liked my nuggets and fries. I still like my nuggets and fries. But I liked my nuggets and fries, my macaroni, like so many kids, yeah. And I was just a little intimidated by what I considered ethnic food, you know. So we'd go into there because my parents loved it, and I did like the way the place looked. It was beautiful on the inside, murals on the walls, and the staff was super nice. The waitresses were kind, and I was also like kind of a nervous kid. Like my parents famously had a hard time going to restaurants for years when I was very little because I would cry as soon as the waitress talked to me. That's super embarrassing. I don't know why I'm telling the internet that. There are people who decide that it's their life's work to write Wikipedia pages. Well, why aren't you guys writing a Wikipedia page for Mark Gifford and Todd Wright? And if you do, please include that I cried when waitresses tried to talk to me when I was 3. Why am I mad? It's my own doing. It's my own doing. I know that you can jump on the horse. I never liked the action on the horse. It's the same thing in Golden Axe when you can jump on those goofy, like, bird horses. Parakeet llamas. I don't know what they were. I don't really care for it. So I'm going to leave it behind. The game doesn't want me to. That horse is going to stick around like, hey, I'm over here. But I'm going to ignore him. I'm going to fight Swordman. Originality. All right. Chinese food, Todd. So, what would I get when in my first few visits to the Chinese restaurant as a picky kid? I'm getting what you'd expect. I'm getting the nuggets and fries. And they offer it on the kids' menu because they know there are kids like me and many of us. Eventually, oh, look, I'm going to help. Wait, which person was I helping? Oh, okay, this guy's like in a clown mask. He's like a French clown or something. First few times, I'm just getting the nuggets and fries. Finally, my dad is like, hey, you want to try this? It's an egg roll. Not a bad entrance into the, into the cuisine. Crunchy egg roll, delicious meat and veggies inside. Loved it. Next time we go, try this. I love shrimp, okay? Try this shrimp fried rice or this combination fried rice with chicken, shrimp, all kinds of stuff. Did you say that villain's name was Fat Man? I don't think that would fly today. But you couldn't call him, like, less than Slender Man, because there's no art to that. There is no pause on this? I'm offended by that. Okay, there we go. I want to talk to you for a minute, because I got to get to the story. I need to talk about Chinese food, and so I want to spend some time with you, and with my beverage here. Next time I'm trying the shrimp toast. Oh, to this day, love a shrimp toast. If you can do a shrimp toast well, I'm coming back to your restaurant, even if everything else is subpar. Then I'm having a wonton, which is just fried goodness. So I'm having 6 of those. Finally, I got basically a plate of appetizers and rice. And my mom is finally like, "Do you want to try something?" They liked kung pao chicken. I can't remember what my dad would do. My mom would always do kung pao chicken. And so we asked the waitress, nice lady, what would you recommend for my son? She says sesame chicken. To this day, I love a sesame chicken. If a place can do sesame chicken well, you're my new favorite, and I'm still looking. My favorite restaurant I'm talking about now, Shu Yu, it's closed. They're gone. They're retired. So I'm left without a home in terms of Chinese restaurants. But sesame chicken, I tried that day. fell in love with the cuisine in general, and became a little bit more adventurous in my eating. So I don't know how I paused that successfully because I just sort of mashed all the buttons. Ooh, the Sword Master. Was that Brayford? Brayford. Not quite Scorn or whatever. Brayford. Hello, Brayford. Oh. Continue, of course. I'm not... Oh, I chose Percival. Okay. We'll see how he does. He's got a cool axe. And I called him, kind of lame, so maybe he's got an axe to grind.
Boo!
Sorry. So we would go many, many times. I would go many, many times with my parents to Shu Yu. And there was the woman who owned the place. Everyone called her Shu. I hope that was her name. People weren't just calling her the title of the restaurant. But she was a sweet lady, and she was in charge, man. She was running the books. She was running the phones, running the register. And then her husband was in the back. This guy's like, Brayford is harder than he looks. Gotta watch out for the gingers, So, sorry, it was that Harris? Excuse me. So, she was in charge, and then the husband was cooking back there, and it was great food. You know, I could never figure out about Shu Yu, San Antonio folks who knew Shu Yu. Why was the take-home fried rice different than the rice when you got in the restaurant? It was both very delicious, but the color was different. Percival's defeated Brayford, and we move on. Oh, why didn't I remember that accent earlier when I was fighting Fet Men? So here we are going into stage 3. Battle at the Castle Fort. Okay. Let's do it. I would have emptied quarters. I would have emptied my allowance into this game. This is fun. It looks like there's a good narrative. We're building towards something. I like a game that shows you sort of a global map. That means you know you're headed somewhere. And look at the different character designs for each level. It's a Capcom. It's going to be a good one. So eventually, what I didn't know at that time was that my wife, who lived nearby, and I didn't know yet, I'm talking I was 5, 6, 7 years old, my wife and her family also were going to, oh look, I'm going to save the day again. And he runs off. How about you help me out, friend? You're in armor. I'm fighting Buster Douglas over here, and you're running off. Birdman? No. Sometimes the translations of these, you're just wondering if it didn't translate well. You know how I feel about the horse, sir. Not doing that. It's like Yoshi. No, it's a cute little premise, and I'm glad they figured out how to code it, but I don't want to ride on a thing. I want control over what I'm doing. My wife's family was going there too, so it was my wife, before I met my wife, it was her favorite Chinese restaurant too. And when we met and started dating, we would take some of our very first high school, dating experiences, we would eat there. And come to find out that that restaurant was special for their family, not just in the restaurant, but they would take it to go. Yes, I'm going to continue. Who did I pick? Percival again. I'm sticking with Percival. He's more solid than I thought. He looked in the character selection screen like he was a little hunched and a little, smarmy. But look, I'm helping the weak here. And he looks sort of like He-Man. I'm excited about that new He-Man cartoon, by the way. Revelations coming out. Kevin Smith did it. I know a lot of people don't like Kevin Smith. Have you done half of what Kevin Smith is? Okay, anyway. So eventually they closed down. They closed down because they were tired. So it was years later that they closed down, though, because my wife and I, we dated for a number of years, right? And would love to pause. Give me a way to pause. Oh, let me try again. Yeah, I figured it out. Sorry, I'm slow and I don't prep for these. So my wife and I would date in high school and go to that restaurant often. And then years would go by. I moved to Kansas for a couple of years. You've heard Kansas stories before. My wife and I moved to New York. We actually got married while we were living in New York. Moved back to Texas. Moved back to San Antonio. Moved back to close to where we grew up. And started going to Shu Yu's again. We had a couple of years of that. And even got to introduce my daughter when she was born to the glory of Shu Yu. She found her favorite broccoli beef. And of course, she loved the rice. And so it was a family affair again, only now it was with a new family. And this is what I was trying to say earlier when I got distracted, is my wife, when she grew up, it was her family's favorite as well. And they would do it on Valentine's Day as sort of a family Valentine event. And so I loved that. And so we incorporated that into me and my wife's tradition with our kids. So it was a place that introduced me to good food, and then it was a place that sort of became nostalgic because it was family oriented. Well, they retired. They got tired, as I said, and tired of working every day. And I guess they had enough reserves to retire, and so they announced it to the community, and they had signs on the outside. And so everyone was going for one last hurrah. We went and ordered our favorites. Mine, the sesame chicken. My daughter, the broccoli beef. Then my wife, the spicy shredded chicken. We got all the yummies to go with it. Who's this? Oh, yeah. No, look at this. Ooh, are they going to make me? Because maybe I can't go through the thing without it. I'm going to see. I'm just going to walk. Yeah, good. Okay, no horse. No horse for me. Hashtag no horses. No one is saying hashtag anymore, Todd. You're okay. You don't have to try to keep up. You're 40. So the place closed. We ordered one last round of our favorite foods, and we even ordered an extra round to be frozen so that we could have it again a couple weeks later. And we did. And we've tried so hard to find a new place in San Antonio, a new place for us that is the same, but nothing's the same, man. One place will have great fried rice, but the shrimp toast ain't great. One place will have good sesame chicken, but the rice is only okay. And of course you can soy sauce it up. But if it's not good, it's not good. That's right. I'm just gonna rock Percival now. I changed my opinion about Percival 100%. And I know people can be critical of I've been calling Chinese food, but of Chinese American cuisine. I know they can be critical of it because what? It doesn't taste like. Ooh, I got Lancelot. So we're getting everybody in here today. That's good. We'll see the different fighting styles. It's not authentic Chinese food. You know how I feel about the word authentic? I got a big problem with it. And for Chinese food, I'll tell you why. I know people love making fun of Panda Express and places like these, saying it's not real food or it's not real Chinese food. And I get it if you've been to China, or even you're from China, and you love the food from there. I get it. But to call it inauthentic is crazy to me, only because when you eat that food, yeah, it's different. It's Americanized, sure, but that was very purposeful, I saw this documentary, and I've watched it like 3 or 4 times because I've even made I've forced students to watch it and write about it in the past. This documentary, The Search for General Tso, really good. But in it, they ask themselves, well, okay, General Tso, look at these tigers. This is cool. No, I do not condone slashing at tigers, even if they are mad tigers. Or owning them. That's another weird story for you someday. I'm going to put a bookmark in just for later, for future reference. Remind me in the comments if I forget in the future. In Illinois, a parking lot of a burger place, there was a petting zoo with a camel, and as a teaser, I'm going to have Mark show me on a camel. Petting zoo with a camel, and we also were found out that there was a white tiger to be seen there. And that's when it was only then that I realized we shouldn't be there, and we got out of there quick. I'm all over the place today. I'm not even upset about it. I hope you're having a good time. So, people are critical of food and everything, but in the search for General Tso, the first thing they start doing is they try to figure out, was General Tso a real guy in China? Well, in fact, he was. The documentary says he lived in the 19th century. He was, in fact, a general. Here we are. Arthur's going to wrap it up for us today. Arthur's the real hero of this story. And from the Hunan province, 19th century, and supposedly a valiant warrior. But no, General Tso's chicken, which is what the movie tracks, was not a dish in China, not a traditional dish in China. And no, General Tso didn't even know what it was. It was an immigrant dish. And that's what I'm trying to get here. Get to here, thank you, is that Chinese food as we know it in the United States, is it authentic Chinese food? Well, it's not from China, but you know what, man? Like, you read about the Chinese immigrant experience here and how hard it was, not just like the fact that they had to deal with people who didn't want, Chinese folks in their neighborhoods and in their towns. I'm talking like a lot of those early California immigrants, and setting fire to their shops and graffitiing their buildings and stuff. Look at this great bad guy. Arlon? I mean, I'm not going to make fun of him to his face, but I'm here with you. Cool weapons, and he's like almost twice my size here. These Chinese immigrants were doing their best to stick around to find this American dream. Look, I got him trapped in the corner. That's excellent. Oh, because somebody's coming to leave me food? Leave me a salad? Arthur needs no salad. Get Arthur a turkey leg. Bring Arthur an entire fried turkey. These immigrants were doing their best to find a way to live here, to live that American dream. And so what do? Like all cultures here, they assimilate to a certain degree. They change the way they dress. They change the way they live. And yes, these restaurants change the way they cook. So if you're going to make fun of Chinese American food, you have to know that part of it is, look at that, Arlon. And that's excellent. I'm gonna wrap on that stage. Ooh, I have a little bonus stage here or something? What's happening? Or they just appreciate me because I'm a huge hero. Look at that, all these guys. What I'm going to say is if all those guys were there the whole time, why didn't they come and help me? Cowards. I'm just going to let this play here because I want to wrap this story up with you here today. If you're going to be critical of Chinese American cuisine, you have to be critical of yourself, because it is only because of what America is and because what America was that stuff came to be. Yeah, we like sugary foods. We like sugary, more salty foods. And so the stuff that we think of today as Chinese food, orange chicken, General Tso's chicken, my favorite, sesame chicken, yeah, it's much sweeter, much saltier than some of that traditional stuff. But they did what they could to change their menus to fit our palates, and yes, to be a part of this great American experiment. So, I got some trouble with the word authentic, and a lot of trouble with the snobbery of evaluation of good versus better versus best. But I just wanted to talk Chinese food, and yeah, I know I could get on my high horse about all that stuff, but the main goal here today was to give a cheers to my old favorite, Shu Yu, to give a cheers to that immigrant experience in this country, folks doing their best to make it, and ends up turning our country into what it is, a better thing. And here's to my parents for forcing me to eat an egg roll. So thanks for being with me here at Drink, Play, Swear. And in between now and the next time I talk to you, I'm Todd, finishing my love street. See ya.